Alright, so welcome back to another video. Today we'll be looking at Salamangreat combos and doing a few test hands. So let's just jump right in. So the first combo, I would say this is a relatively standard setup. We're going to start with a Flame Buffalo, a Gazelle, and a Jack Jaguar. So the first thing we want to do is summon out this Flame Buffalo. Then we want to link it away. And then we'll summon out Banlist. So this Flame Buffalo is going to be Chain Link 1, and this is going to be Chain Link 2. So Buffalo allows us to discard a Cyburst and draw 2 cards. Banlist allows us to search our field spell. So we will first search the field spell. There we go. Then we will discard Jack Jaguar and draw 2 cards. We'll just leave those as blanks for now. And then on resolution, since Jack Jaguar is sent to grave, we can summon out Gazelle. So we'll activate Gazelle's effect. Then Gazelle will allow us to send any Salamangreat card to the graveyard. We'll choose Rage because we have a way of getting it back. Next, we'll use Gazelle and Banlist to go into our Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. We can now activate the field spell, Sanctuary. And the field spell allows us to link summon using Sunlight Wolf as the entire material for another Sunlight Wolf. This sets up the graveyard perfectly, so now we can activate Jack Jaguar targeting Sunlight Wolf. This will shuffle back in the deck, and this will summon to a zone a Salamangreat Link monster points to. We'll summon Jack right there. Now Sunlight Wolf's effect will activate and allow us to add a fire monster from our graveyard to our hand. We'll choose Gazelle. Now we can activate Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf's other effect, which will allow us to add a Salamangreat spell or trap back to our hand, so we'll add Rage. Finally, we can blink off Jack Jaguar for Lingaribo, which on our opponent's turn, we can tribute this card to negate the activation of any trap card. So that could be really important. And we will set our Salamangreat Rage here. And we drew 2 cards and we still have Gazelle in hand. So that's the first combo. All right, for this next combo, we're just gonna go pretty bare bones. We're just gonna say we have a Spinny and a Search card. So Silent Mining, this can pretty much be any salad, and this can pretty much be any like Circle or Silent Mining. It effectively does the same thing. So what we're gonna do is activate Silent Mining and then pitch Spinny. We will go into our deck here, and we will search our 1 copy of Salamangreat Gazelle. So on resolution, Gazelle will activate. We'll summon Gazelle. Gazelle's other effect will activate to send to grave. We will send Rage, and just like the last combo, we're going to be able to get that back. So we'll summon our Banlist and search our field spell. There we go. We can go ahead and activate that field spell. Now we can activate Spinny to summon from the grave. We'll summon Spinny here. And we can link 2, and if Spinny was summoned off his own effect, he's going to be banished. Now we can link 2 into our Sunlight Wolf. Now, using our field spell, we can reincarnate Sunlight Wolf and go into our other second copy. Now we can use Sunlight Wolf's effect to add back our copy of Rage, and we can go ahead and set that. So basically, just with those 2 relatively generic cards, we have a Sunlight Wolf that has protection from destruction by banishing our Banlist. We have our copy of Rage, which can target the Sunlight Wolf and pop 2 cards. And then once that goes to the grave on the next turn, if we keep our Sunlight Wolf around, we can actually get it back. So it's a pretty consistent deck for that reason, that it doesn't put out like these unbreakable boards, but it's just like at a bare minimum, this is what you should be able to do. And we didn't even account for the 3 other cards in our hand. That could be 2 hand traps and a Solemn Strike, which just really, really improves the quality of our board. So that's pretty much the bare bones combo. All right, for this next combo, we're going to use the same 2 cards, Salamangreat Spinny and Silent Mining, so pretty much any salad card and any search card, and we're actually going to OTK, so 8,000 points of damage just with these 2 cards, assuming an open board on our opponents. So we're going to activate Silent Mining first, and we're going to pitch our copy of Spinny. We're going to add our copy of Gazelle to hand. On resolution, Gazelle will trigger to summon. We're going to activate Gazelle's other effect, and we're actually going to pitch a copy of Jack Jaguar because we need another monster here. So we can link right off into Banlist, and we don't have to worry about searching the field spell. It's actually not going to come up. So we can activate Jack Jaguar, target Gazelle, shuffle that back in the deck, summon it out to the link zone. Next, because we control a solid monster, we can summon out our Spinny. We will link these two away. For Update Jammer, just takes any level 2 or higher side burst monsters. Spinny will actually be banished because it got summoned off its own effect. Now we can link 3 into Transcode, and on summon here, we're going to activate Update, and it's going to allow Transcode to attack twice. Next, we can activate Transcode and target Update to summon to a zone he points to, and because Transcode and Update are co-linked, both of them will give 500 attack. That means that Transcode is going to be 2800 attack and can attack twice, and Update will be 2500 attack, and total that is 8100 attack. So it's a lot of damage just off those 2 cards. But if your opponent does have, let's say they have 2 or 3 monsters on the field, we just take one more step here, and we go into access code. So on summon again, Transcode will be targeted by access code to gain 3000. So now access code is at 5300, and Update Jammer will also allow him to attack twice. So now he's at 5300 and can attack twice, so that's 10,600 damage, plenty of damage, but if they have monsters in the field, we can actually activate Transcode's other effect. So basically it's non-targeting destruction, so we can banish link monsters with different attributes to destroy monsters our opponent controls. So since we have 3, we can actually pop 3 monsters and do 10,000 points of damage. So that's definitely the reason you need to be playing this guy in your Salamangreat deck. Alright, so for the final segment of the video, let's go ahead and do some test hands. So we'll just shuffle the deck up here, and we'll just draw 5. So we have Signet Mining, Jack Jaguar, Foxy, Rage, and Ash Blossom. So the first thing we want to do here is probably normal summon out Foxy, and use its effect to excavate and see if we get any Salamangreat cards on the top 3. So looks like our only option is going to be Will the Salamangreat, so it's a great extender, but exactly why you don't want to play too many, because it's only once per turn. So seeing 2 like that is it's kind of a brick. Next, before we do anything, we probably want to activate Signet Mining, send off Jack Jaguar, and we will search our 1 copy of Salamangreat Gazelle. And since Jack was sent to the grave, we can trigger Gazelle to summon itself out. We'll activate Gazelle's other effect. And since we already have Rage in hand, we will send our other trap that we can add back to our hand, which is Salamangreat Roar. Next, we can go ahead and link off, let's say, Foxy. It shouldn't matter between the 2. We'll get Banlist, and we'll activate its effect to search out the field spell. So now we have Sanctuary in hand. The next play we want to do is link 2 into our Sunlight Wolf. We can now activate the field spell. Field spell allows us to link summon another Sunlight Wolf using itself as material. So at this point, we can activate Sunlight Wolf to add back Roar to hand. Now we can activate Jack Jaguar, targeting Sunlight Wolf, to summon itself out here, and then shuffle Sunlight Wolf back into the deck. Now Sunlight Wolf will activate to get us Gazelle back to our hand. And next we can link off Jack Jaguar for a copy of Lingaribo. And we can activate Will, activate the effective Will to summon out another copy of Jack Jaguar, probably a better zone to put it. We can now set our 2 traps, Rage and Roar. And that's pretty much the board. So we have protection with Banlist that can protect any of our Salamangreat cards, pretty much, the monsters and the traps. We have Gazelle for next turn. We have Yugioh that can tribute itself to stop a trap. We have Ash, which stops pretty much adding cards from the deck to the hand or the field or the grave. We have Roar, which is the counter trap as long as we control a Salamangreat Link monster. And we have Rage, which we can tribute a monster in field or hand to target and pop a card, or we can actually just target Sunlight Wolf since it's reincarnated and pop 2 cards non-targeting. So that's it's a pretty powerful board on just a pretty average Salamangreat hand. All right, we'll do one more test hand for this video. We'll shuffle it up here and go ahead and draw our 5. So the 5 cards we have is a Solemn Strike, a Flame Buffalo, Jack Jaguar, Ghost Bell, and Salamangreat Roar. So our first move here is definitely going to be normal summoning our Flame Buffalo, and we can link him away for Salamangreat Banlist. We'll do Chainlink 1 Buffalo, Chainlink 2 Banlist. We will search our field spell. Then we will discard our Jack Jaguar to draw 2 additional cards. So, alright, that's a pretty good draw. I think since we're not going back into the deck, we can safely activate Desires. If we banish Gazelle, it's no big deal. We didn't have access to it anyway. So go ahead and banish 10. And with all 10 banished, we can draw 2. So we draw a copy of Infinite Impermanence and Triple Tactics. So at this point, it's hard to say if we would have gotten this far without being hand trapped, but now we obviously have a kind of a counter to if our opponent tries to use a monster effect against us. So we can now discard Spinny and make Banlist gain 500 attack. We can summon out Spinny and then link these 2. Banlist will go to the grave and Spinny will be banished. For our Sunlight Wolf, we can go ahead and activate our field spell, Salamangreat Sanctuary. That lets us link back into Sunlight Wolf. And unfortunately, we don't have any Salamangreat spells or traps in the graveyard to add back, but we can still activate Jack Jaguar, targeting Wolf to shuffle Wolf back, summon Jack Jaguar, and then activate Wolf's effect to get our Flame Buffalo back into our hand, because he pretty much serves no purpose in the grave, and it's definitely going to be a good starter, at least for next turn. At least we have a normal summon. So at this point, we can link into our Yugioh for some protection against traps, and we can set our copy of Roar, Strike, and Imperm. And basically we have a copy of Ghost Bell in our hand as well, and our Triple Tactics is probably would have come up at some point depending on if our opponent hand trapped us, but if not, this is our final board. So yeah, I think that was a pretty powerful deck, and I think in this format it can play a lot of hand traps, actually a lot of main traps too. So yeah, if you guys liked the video, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe for more. I'll be doing a lot more deck profiles and a lot more combo videos in the future. So yep, thanks for watching.